The Whisper Loop. Channel 140.7 FM. They say if you drive long enough through the empty highways of Kansas, you'll eventually catch a station that isn't supposed to exist. No music, no commercials. Just a whisper looping in static, like someone trying to reach you through the noise. Most people brush it off as truck stop ghost stories, but in early 1999, that signal got recorded, and what investigators found buried inside shouldn't have been possible. At exactly 3:42 a.m. on January 17, 1999, a long-haul trucker named Ron Hatcher pulled over on the shoulder of Interstate 70 just outside Salina, Kansas. He said his radio had caught something strange. Not a voice, not a song, just a repeating 40-second static loop, a pulse of white noise that seemed too deliberate to be random. When he tried to change the station, the tuner froze. The numbers on the screen wouldn't move, and just before the loop restarted, he heard 3 faint words under the static. "Keep listening, driver." By sunrise, 5 other truckers reported the same thing, all within a 200-mile stretch between Topeka and Hayes. Each one mentioned the same unlisted frequency, 140.7 FM. The strange part? That channel doesn't appear on any FCC registry. Not in 1999. Not today. What you're about to hear is a reconstruction from archived FCC documents, internal field reports, and one surviving audio tape labeled only The Whisper Loop. The original file was dated February 1999. Subject line: Unidentified frequency interference. Channel 140.7 FM. Classification: Non-replicable signal anomaly. No origin, no license, no further notes. The first written record came from the driver who called himself Highbeam 12. He logged the loop while driving east near Ellsworth, Kansas. His report described a mechanical whisper under static, repeating every 40 seconds. He thought it was a pirate broadcast, but when FCC teams were dispatched to trace the signal, their triangulation pointed to an odd location: a sealed Cold War microwave relay site known as Tower K-47, abandoned since 1978. The tower had no active power lines, no transmission cables, and no known frequency allocation near 140.7 FM. Yet every scanning device the team brought still picked up the same repeating pulse, strongest when pointed directly at the ground beneath the tower's foundation. One engineer's field notes mention a detail later redacted from the file. He wrote, "Signal origin appears subsurface, not atmospheric." A week later, the FCC handed the recordings to audio researchers at the University of Kansas for deeper analysis. They slowed the waveform down 400%. That's when they saw it, a pattern embedded within the noise itself. Each peak in the static formed a coordinate string. Latitude 38.9441, longitude -98.3302, the exact site of the K-47 relay tower. Further study revealed the loop wasn't actually identical every time. Microscopic phase shifts appeared every 40 minutes. Tiny changes in timing that only showed up through spectrogram comparison. When the data was compiled over 24 hours, the shifts formed a perfect image, a ring with radial spokes, almost like an old television test symbol. The internal file name used by the research team was cycle_A_internal.wav. In the margin of one technician's handwritten notes, someone had scribbled a single sentence: "It's not a transmission, it's a beacon." On March 12, 1999, the signal stopped. Just after midnight, all monitoring stations lost contact simultaneously. When agents returned to the K-47 tower site the next morning, the structure was found collapsed inward. Its support beams buckled as if by controlled demolition. No permit, no contractor, no record of removal. Residents in nearby Ellsworth reported feeling a low, rolling vibration around 2 in the morning, like thunder underground. A week later, the FCC's internal server logs showed the entire investigation file. Reference code 1407K47A had been corrupted. Backups were blank. The entry itself was deleted from the public frequency archive. Only one staff member came forward years later, an audio technician named Aaron Bell. He said he'd been the last to handle the master tape. When asked what he heard, his reply was brief: "It started syncing with my heartbeat. Then it stopped being random. He never elaborated further. In 2018, a post appeared on Reddit titled, "Anyone else ever heard 140.7 FM?" The user uploaded a 15-second audio clip, the same looping static, faint whispers beneath. Spectrogram analysis by radio hobbyists revealed an almost identical waveform to the 1999 file, but with a new embedded phrase, "Cycle be active." The post vanished within 2 days. The user's account, midway_truckstop87, no longer exists. Since then, a handful of amateur radio operators across Kansas and Missouri have reported hearing short bursts near the same frequency, each lasting less than an hour before disappearing completely. When plotted on a map, the source points form a near-perfect circle centered on the ruins of the original K-47 site. The official stance of the FCC remains unchanged. No evidence that channel 140.7 FM ever existed. No license. No technical trace. But if that's true, what's powering the signal that still echoes there, 26 years later? And if it's not broadcasting out, then what exactly is it still waiting to hear back?